Hey everyone, so in this video we will cover the following modeling approaches. These are which planes to draw on and why, defining sketches using construction lines while sketching, driving versus driven dimensions, and features like rib, hole visit, linear pattern, and planes. So we are going to draw the axle support, which is the part on the top right of this diagram. Now, if you compare this part with the other parts, such as the top plane, the wheel, and the axle, you would notice that to achieve the assembly, this diagram, the orientation that it's been drawn on in this diagram is the one that we have to use, and we should be using. So if you notice carefully, this plane should be the right plane. So we're going to draw our part onto the right plane. First of all, we draw the triangular face, then we're going to extrude that, draw a rectangle on top, extrude that, then we're going to do the boss on the left side with the circular one, then we're going to add rib, add holes using the hole wizard, use a linear pattern to copy those holes, do our extrude cut, and use planes so to complete our part. Also, it would be easier if, as we go through the whole video, you highlight the parts that you cover, like the measurements that you use, because there are too many details. You don't want to miss out on any of them. Also, to do this, I will be using the step-by-step instructions that are provided in this Word document, because it states out everything in detail. So in case you miss out anything, you can always go there and check out the measurements. So to start off, we will go for a new metric part. Now the plane that we decided was the right plane. So we click sketch, click the right plane. First of all, we will use our center line. So our center line or construction lines help control the geometry of our part. Then we will draw a line going through the origin. We will also add a circle. So there's no worries about the dimensions. We are just going to dimension right now. So we take the origin and this edge over here. That's 41, and then the overall dimension of this is 82. Also, the radius of the circle is given to be 20, so that's 20 by 2 in diameters terms. And the center of this from this line here is 48. Now for the next part, we are going to draw a line from this edge to, and now we're looking for a tangent. So when you hover it over, you will see the yellow lines indicating where it cuts the circle's edges. Also, there will be a symbol next to the coincident one stating it's a tangent. So you go tangent here and towards the other side. Okay, now we can trim the extra edges using the trim entities tool. Okay, now we need to check, just to double check, we will see the overall height of our part that we're sketching. So we go from this edge to this edge. It will ask you driven or driving. We will go for driven dimension. So these help out with, checking the dimension, a reference dimension for the geometry. Then we will drag this edge towards the top. So that's 68 as it should be, except that. And now we're going for the extrude. The extrude should be 10 millimeters. Now we're going to again go for the right plane and look. Now we will look for sketch in the rectangle option. Go for a corner rectangle. Go for this edge, and don't worry about the other edge. It will probably be okay. Normal too. It will probably go out, so we will adjust that later. So this height should be 10. And now we can exit out of the dimension one and drag this for the coincident. Okay, now we're going to extrude this as well. So zoom out and rotate using your mouse wheel. This should be 37. Except that. Next we're going to do our circular extrude. So over here we're going to go again for our right plane. Zoom in, go for extrude, look for circle. Now we're going to hover over this edge over here, the circular edge, to find the center of the circle. Place it down, touching this edge. It might not place it, so we can always reduce that. Hold CTRL, click circle, click this edge, and go for tangent relationship. Okay, like the sketch, rotate that. Make sure it's on the right direction, so you might have to flip that. Go for 2 millimeters. Okay, accept. Now, our basic parts, things are done now to add in the holes. So the first one would be in this extrude base. Select this face over here. Go for extrude cut. circle. Again, hover to the edge to find the center. There we go. The radius of this has been set to be 18. The diameter is set to be 18. Except that. Exit sketch. It will give you the option for blind. We will go up to next. You can also go through all, but you just go up to next. It's the same thing, except that. Okay, so that hole's done. Now we have to create our rib. So for the rib feature, we have to define a plane. So if we notice here, the front plane cuts symmetrically through our whole part, and that's where the rib should be. So we choose the front plane here, choose the rib feature here, then select this edge and go for normal 2 for a better view. And select line, go here, select this edge here. That will show you coincident. Also use smart dimension this should be 12. And the other one I believe should be 32. Okay. Except that. Exit sketch. Now make sure this arrow is pointing towards the parts. If it's not, you can use a flip material thing here. You can check that, or you can use normal to sketch for that. Also ensure that the thickness is on both sides, not on one side, and the thickness should be 18. Except that. Okay, so our rib is done. Now to drill our holes. So we select this edge here, go for normal 2. Okay, look for the hole wizard. Now, if you look at the details of the hole that you're supposed to drill, you are looking for a spot face. To achieve a spot face in the hole type, you will select counterbore hole. Look for NC metric. And the type doesn't matter because we are going to go for custom sizing. So as you see, the bigger hole's diameter is set to be 10. So we can go 10 millimeters here. The smaller is 5 millimeters, so that's 5 here. And the depth of that is 1.5 millimeters. And that should be through all. And in the position, we will the face is selected. It's going to show it there. Place it anywhere because we're going to smart dimension it anyways. From the circle to this edge, that should be 30. And from this edge to this one, that should be 12. Okay, except that. So our hole is drilled. Now we have to do 4 more of these. To do that, we will just select our counterbore, go for a linear pattern. Now it's going to ask you the pattern direction, so you could use this edge or this edge depending on which direction you want it in. So we will choose this edge. Now you see it's going on the other side. You can just click the reverse direction button. There's 5 of them, 1 2 3 4 5. That's fine. Now distance, for the distance, if you see the first hole and the last hole have a distance of 58, so that's 58 divided by 4 of them. That's equally spaced, except that our holes are done. Okay, now for the next part, we need a hole on this surface. To do that, we will create a plane. Now, if you see our part, if you use this edge and go normal 2, you would see that the top plane cuts our part, and if you use this plane, if you create another plane using this plane and place it at the top here, it would be easier for us to drill a hole. So how we do that is, we hold the CTRL button, click this plane and drag it down. So this will open this window. Now, our reference plane is the top plane and we are going for a distance relationship. If you recall, the distance from this edge to that one was 68. So to double check that, we can rotate it and see this lies on the top of our that surface. So we accept that. Okay, perfect. Now we have to drill a hole. So we click this, go normal 2. It might flip on the other side, so you have to do it again, normal 2. Okay. So now we again go into our hole wizard. Look for a straight tap, metric. Hole size should be M6 by 1.0. And it should be up to next. You don't want through all or blind because you'll have to decide the distance. Up to next would do just fine. Then for the position, if you select this plane, it should show here. So we're going to use inference, which is this line here, to place it on this point here, and zoom in a bit, smart dimension this edge with this edge. this is as given to you 6. Okay, accept that, so our hole is drilled. Now you can get rid of this plane, not get rid of it, basically hide it by clicking with the left mouse button and clicking this glasses icon. If you see, our hole is drilled. Now the last part that is remaining is fillets. So we select this edge and this edge. Click the fillet option. Now if you see, it says fillets are R5 unless specified. These ones are not specified, so that's 5. Accept that. And we have other fillets which are over here. So we wait for the line option next to the mouse cursor, so that's easier to make sure you're not going to hit a face by mistake. Okay, this one, and this one. Go again to the fillet option. If you see, it says 2.5. 2.5. Okay, accept. Now our part is complete, all the holes and all the details with the fillets, the rib, and everything's done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.